this is the mess that I got to get rebuilt. That motor lost compression because it burnt a couple valves. So we got this to clean that, and then other stuff in the future. We're getting this over here because hopefully this is going to be more level. You know, because water and electricity are good together. I got somebody off grabbing some more buckets of water so that we can get things all situated. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna try some purple power to clean a couple of these valves. I've also got some Dawn dish soap that we're gonna try and clean a couple of valves with as well. You can put a couple drops of Dawn dish soap in with some water, and that's supposed to clean off the carbon and stuff. But if I can find another container to clean some stuff with, and a couple other products that I wouldn't mind trying, like some gasoline, and this stuff works pretty well on its own without an ultrasonic cleaner. The exhaust valves seem to be a little bit more dirty than the intake valves, so we're gonna drop a couple of these into the purple power. There's just a little bit of debris in my water, so I'm gonna grab a rag to filter it. And then, get that on there nice and tight. Just pull it through the cloth and it's all filtered. And now I'm gonna take a couple cups of some drops of some Dawn dish soap here. Not really sure how much to put in there, but the internet tells me that this is a good solution to clean stuff with the ultrasonic cleaner. So that one looks pretty comparable to one of the other ones we had. That one's also pretty tarnished in some carbon. So there's our second solution. Get that lid on there. I'd like to try this out in the ultrasonic cleaner and see how that does on cleaning some parts. Now, I'm comfortable with just trying random cleaning solutions and stuff on these because they're steel parts, so they're a lot more durable than if I were to try cleaning something like this guy here that's aluminum. That's gonna need to be a lot more gentle of a cleaning solution. Now we're gonna dump the Berrymans in here. And we're gonna see how this does. Except for this is kind of cheating. I know how this does. This would clean those valves by itself, just soaking in it without a heater. They come with a little ring on there that you can rip open the lid, but that pulled off on me, so now it's just got a hole poked in it. I would stab the bottom of this to let it breathe, but kind of want to maybe pour this back in here when I'm done. Two of these in the Berrymans, and let's see how that does. We'll turn it on. I bet there's a kill switch. So we took the whole intake off because the EGR tube wasn't going to free up. It's kind of set up in there. But from what I understand, it might break loose once it is all in there. Again, we put that we used Dawn dish soap this time, so I can put aluminum parts directly into it. Well, that's as much as that's going to fit in there. I'm going to knock this piece off of here so I can clean those separately. And then I'll see you in a minute when we get ready to start the cleaner. Lastly, we're going to throw this PCV valve in there. They're known for building up some carbon and stuff in there. And that one's not it's kind of loose, but it's definitely gummed up. It's got some oil shoved up through it. So we'll throw this in there too. In there, loose with everything else. Come down here, gonna make lots of noise again because we're gonna go up to, oh, that's down. We're gonna go up. I'm gonna run this one for 30 minutes and see how everything comes out. And then we're just gonna hit start and it's gonna do its thing again. Alright, it's off. We're gonna pull out some stuff. It's a little bit more yellow. I'm not convinced that this one's not working just because it's soaking in some really good cleaner. Alright, pull this jar out. This is the Purple Power. It's definitely a lot darker than it was the last time we pulled it out. Pull out the Dawn dish soap one. Get that out of there. Yeah, it did some stuff. There's some shit floating around in there. And then let's get the intake out. I don't know if you guys saw me drop that in there or not. I think so. Yeah. Definitely cleaned up a bit. Most of these are probably going to go back in for another longer soak. We're not going to make you guys suffer. Alright. Now, I hooked up the bucket so I can drain this. And we can get to some parts a little bit easier. Guys were off, well, I was off camera. I dropped in the intake valves as well. Don't think they're going to do a whole lot in just this Dawn dish soap, but we'll see. We'll see about how propping this up here somehow, some way. Maybe not. Made room on the table. Yeah. Make sure we dump all the liquid out of everything. And then think about making sure they're saturated. Alright. Come over here on the table. Definitely did what we wanted it to do and put it in there a bit longer. A lot of these things you're supposed to actually take apart, but I can't necessarily take this apart because opens up this way. That's spring loaded and I'm not really feeling like tearing apart things and rebuilding these kind of things, but I'm definitely getting some of the carbon off of there to make it more functional. You see my throttle body there, that's definitely a bit cleaner. Still pretty tarnished and gummed up, but that's wiping right off of there. I'm definitely gonna put that back in. That's cleaned up a bit. Still a good amount of carbon looking in there. This guy here, definitely a lot cleaner than it was. Well, that's freed back up. It was definitely gummed up. These intake valves look pretty good. There's definitely carbon on them. We'll throw it all back in there for probably another while, and we'll get back to you. Now, just because I use this stuff on my parts does not mean that I guarantee that you are safe to use them as well. Just a little disclaimer there, is I'm gonna put some purple power in here, make that a little more aggressive. I'm also mixing chemicals, so don't do what I do. That's just Dawn dish soap and purple power. I'm pretty sure they're safe to go together. I can't guarantee that though, so don't do it. Let's see. Can't really see the line of where that was and whatnot, but we're gonna shove it back in there and see what I can do about getting as much of the air out of there as I can. Gonna put it in this direction because all the other parts I stacked up over here, as you probably saw when I went to stick it in there. Somehow I had a whole lot more of this in there the last time. Looks about the same there. I guess we'll pull these out and see how they look. Pretty sure they don't look much different than when they went in there, but yeah, it's eating some of the crap off of there. I'm told that putting some gasoline in a glass jar with these is absolutely the way to go, but again, I'm not really recommending you do anything specific. Do your own research, come up with whatever cleaning solutions you decide are recommended and discover are okay to use, because I'm not saying anything is or is not okay to use, but it's what we're using today. And that famous saying our parents always said, do as I say, not as I do. Now I am going to turn the heat cycle off. It's already up to a good warmth, so I'm not worried about things.
Or even just set it to 27, so it maintains that.
And in it goes. We're gonna run it another 30 minutes and see how things look. And cue noise. Those are just some injectors I thought about last minute throwing in there, and some injector cleaner because I've read that that's good to do. And from the looks of that liquid, it looks like it was really good to do. My hose is collapsed, so that's not gonna drain on its own. I don't really need to drain it. My hands are gross and dirty anyway, but I want to get it down low enough that I can reach in here and grab the handles and pick the basket up and out. Those are the dirty not injectors, that's the other jar. This is all those valves, and if you can see right there, I threw the PCV into it also. But that little bit of fluid I threw in there to clean that seems to have done a really good job. We'll dump that out in a minute. Let's check this intake. Looks like it did a pretty good job cleaning it. And there's still some carbon, but it actually looks really good inside there. I don't know if you guys can see in there or not. You'll just have to take me at my word that that's kind of dirty in there still. Let's see how that throttle body and EGR looks. We're making some progress. It's not absolutely terrible, but it's definitely better than it was. We'll leave that in that basket. The EGR itself, that's looking a lot better right there. It's not really showing up on camera that it looks better, but there you go. It's not as accumulated with all that crap. It's still got some crud in it, but it looks like it's doing better. So the next thing we're gonna throw in here, great big giant timing cover. So I'm gonna throw all these back in here. Just let them go for the time being. We're gonna take this guy. It's pretty oily and gross. The outside of it's pretty nasty and gross. You know what? I'm gonna set it back down. I'm gonna pull this oil filter off. There we go. Now she's off. And let's see. Well, that's not gonna come out. But we'll get you guys a good before and after this side here. Well, that end is kind of the worst of this. And we'll just send it. And I will have to figure out a way to clean this guy a little more complete at a later date. And this is going to be it for tonight, guys. We've been doing this a lot longer than you have with us. As you're here for about 3 minutes, and then we're here for another half hour doing more. So, it's been in again. It's still got some inside there. It's got some carbon buildup. Still got some carbon buildup there. I've only been putting this end in first. I have not put this end in first yet, so maybe next week or next time we come over and start working in here playing with it and dunk that end in. But a little media blaster or some Scotch-Brite or whatnot, that would clean up nice. But the real test for this batch is how did that end come out? You remember that end of this caked in absolute grease? Well, it's still pretty caked. It's only been in here for about 45 minutes. You can see where the line was. You know, this has been cleaned, that's not. Give that a little bit of a scrape and that comes right off. This side, it's still kind of a little tough. And I'm also not using the harshest of cleaners. It's only been sitting here and that little bit of purple power and water. So I'm gonna take that and just clean her up over here. Maybe we'll look into some harsher stuff to clean that. That's still gonna be safe for the aluminum. I'm gonna reach around back here and kill the main switch on it, just because we're calling it a night after this round. They were about as bad as the one side of that intake, or that timing cover you saw me pull out. Not the end that was covered in grease and grime, but the other end. It's kind of about what these valve covers looked like. Get this drained down here a bit more, and we'll get over here and start pulling some more stuff out. Alright, well, that's about drained out, so I mean, it's mostly for getting some of the carbon and crap off of here. I'm supposed to go through with like a media blaster afterwards and clean them up more, but I don't have one of those right yet, so a little bit of wipe down, and geez, look at that. Oh, that crud just melt right off of there. I mean, that's the inside of the motor, so it's got oil on it, so, you know, it's not necessarily so tarnished and caked on there like it might be on the outside, but a little bit of elbow grease or whatnot, and that outside would have cleaned up real quick. I'm going to look into getting a media blaster so I can get this finished up the right way before I put that motor back together, but she's looking pretty good. Another part of the valve cover. Really, almost nothing we're cleaning tonight is a final product. I'm kind of just messing around with this machine that's new to me. I'll go back through and do a more in-depth clean on a lot of this stuff in another time. Still looking at a couple more weeks before I even get that motor, start getting that motor put back together, so not stressing yet. Got plenty of time to clean this stuff again, or more thoroughly. But like, all that is just melting off. Now let's see how that EGR and throttle body look. Yeah, it could be better, but again, I'm not using the harshest of cleaners. And, I mean, it's still a little tarnished, but the important part, which is what I really wanted, is all that built up carbon's gone. And whatever's left inside there that we can't see, I'm sure is going to be loose enough to burn off and break loose nice and freely once this motor's back together and running. Throttle body again, it's kind of the same where it's at, but I mean, it wipes off for the most part. I haven't used the most aggressive cleaners on this, so I'm going to research a little bit more, see what's actually safe for this throttle body to be cleaned with inside there. But again, off camera, I'm going to take the air hose and blow these two electronic pieces out and not let them sit with water. That's just the fuel rail. There's not a whole lot to do with that. I just kind of threw it in there because I had space. Same thing with this one, another fuel rail. Just kind of tossed it in there because I could. That's interesting. I have a stainless steel fuel rail and an aftermarket tin one. Or aftermarket stainless steel one. I don't really have a clue. Somewhere around here. No, I guess that one's magnetic too. Just for some reason that one's chrome and that one's not. out of the same motor originally too. And you know, just this EGR tube, which again, still kind of stuck, but we were really just trying to clean up some of the corrosion and crud inside of it. And all the debris and gunk and waste, and you can see where the I think they're called transponders sit inside the bottom of this tank. I'm just gonna give her a wipe down just to get some of the crud off of the inside above the normal water line. The rest of that I'm not too awful concerned about because it'll clean itself as it's running. And that's kind of where it is. I'm going to do some research and see what else I can find that might be a little more aggressive for these aluminum parts, but still safe. And be sure to look us up and follow us on Facebook. That QR code right there will take you right to us.